What happened to the Izzy? I believe is the gentleman's name.
He was a bodyguard for Busta Rhymes back in the day. Izzy used to work for me.
Okay.
Izzy worked for me, but he worked for some other people too. I know Izzy well. He was at an event where there was a video shoot up and there was a shootout.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How can we think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, it's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move away.
Busta Rhymes' past just came crashing back, and this time it's all out in the open with nowhere left to hide. 2 of his personal bodyguards are now gone under mysterious and chilling circumstances. And the silence around what really happened, it's louder than any verse Busta's ever dropped. These weren't just random situations, and they definitely weren't accidents. If you still believe they were, you're about to get hit with the cold, hard truth. Behind the flashing lights, the platinum plaques, and the wild stage energy, there's a dark undercurrent, a twisted pattern of rage and secrets that's been following Busta for years. Sure, everyone's heard about his temper and the wild headlines, but that's just scratching the surface. What's about to come out is a string of alleged unprovoked outbursts and a legacy of behind-the-scenes threats that have been quietly swept under the rug for way too long. And even all that doesn't compare to the secret that's been bubbling underneath. There's a real chance these 2 men were silenced just for knowing too much. This isn't some messy gossip or clickbait nonsense. These are real events, real disappearances, real questions. And one name keeps popping up at the center: Busta Rhymes. Let's dive into the side of Busta's story that's no longer lurking in the shadows.
Busta ever try to phone me? Hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Shoulda with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo?
Now let's break down the mystery behind these 2 men who are no longer with us. And the one question that still has no answer: what the public does know. 2 bodyguards, men who were trusted with Busta Rhymes' safety, are now gone under circumstances that raise serious red flags. And that's pretty much all anyone's been told. No deep investigations, no clear story, and no justice. But now, years later, some folks are finally stepping up and speaking out about what really went down. Let's rewind to 2008. One of Busta's longtime bodyguards, Jermaine Black Williams, was first reported missing. Just hours later, he was discovered in Ozone Park, Queens, New York. According to reports, the scene was intense. He'd been hurt badly and was found wrapped up in a sheet with signs of blood found in his SUV nearby. It shocked everyone. But even with all that, no one's ever been officially linked to the case. No answers, just silence. At the time, Busta Rhymes was overseas in Europe when the news broke. But here's what hits different. Jermaine wasn't just a weekend hire or some random guy from an agency. This man had worked beside Busta for over 8 years, nearly a decade of being right there in the middle of it all, blocking danger, keeping threats at bay, and seeing every side of Busta most fans never even imagined. That's nearly 10 years of loyalty. And now he's just gone like that. Makes you wonder what really happened, doesn't it? Every secret kept, every power move played, every moment that never made the headline, and still, nothing. Not a single word from Busta, no public message, no sympathy shown for the 2 children Jermaine left behind, just cold, echoing silence. Now let's rewind even further to February 2006. Another man from Busta's tight inner circle ended up in a nearly identical situation. His name was Israel Ramirez, and he wasn't just some new face in the crew. He had been holding it down for over 10 years. That's not just work, that's loyalty, that's basically family. But during the filming of the Touch It remix video in New York, York, things took a wild turn. Witnesses remember a heated moment between some fans that quickly spun out of control. In the middle of all that chaos, it was Ramirez who got caught up. Right there on set, in front of everyone, he was struck, gone in an instant. And the strangest part, he was the only one affected, even though the place was packed. How does a trained, seasoned pro end up as the only one caught in the middle like that? Sounds way too perfect to just be a random mess. Word on the street, Ramirez might have known too much, and that made him a problem.
Happened to the Izzy, I believe is the gentleman's name.
He was a bodyguard for Busta Rhymes back in the day. Izzy used to work for me.
Okay.
Izzy worked for me, but he worked for some other people too. I know Izzy well. He was at an event where there was a video shoot up and there was a shootout. And eventually he got caught in the middle of the gunfire, you know?
And he was the only one to get
He was the only one that got
He kind of gave his life to save Busta.
In a way, yeah, I would say that.
And what came next, even more shocking. The NYPD kicked off an investigation trying to find out who was responsible. But when they reached out to Busta for help, he didn't say a single thing. No statement, no cooperation, nothing. People were furious, and for good reason. Ramirez gave a decade of his life protecting Busta. And when it really mattered, all he got back was silence. And when Busta finally opened his mouth 5 whole months later, it wasn't to clear the air or bring comfort to Ramirez's grieving family. Nope, it was just to defend why he chose to stay silent in the first place.
Tell me at least, why has it been so complicated to close that case?
Because of the people that were involved. And you have high-profile rappers that were involved in a dispute where a person got and there's other celebrities at this event that would have to be brought into court. And to be honest with you, I know a lot about that. I know more probably than anybody about what happened. However, it's been stalemate for many years. It's a tough case because a lot of people are gonna have to be brought in. And it's gonna have to be done by the government. It can't be done by state, local.
2 men, both working directly under Busta, both gone under strange and messy circumstances, and both cases still unsolved. That's not just bad luck. That's a pattern disguised as coincidence. Even early police reports tried to brush it off, saying the 2 incidents were unrelated. But years later, the whispers are turning into shouts. So why are people finally talking now? What's changed? To understand why Busta Rhymes' private world is starting to crumble, we gotta go all the way back. Buckle up, because some of the names tied into this mess will leave your jaw on the floor. Celebs you'd never expect are tangled in this drama, but standing right in the middle of the storm? Busta, with deep ties to none other than Diddy. Word is, Busta's been living a secret double life, and he was in so deep, he'd do anything to make sure it stayed buried. But now that Diddy's been caught up in his own mess, the floodgates are wide open and secrets are leaking fast since his arrest. And the craziest part, there's still even more shocking stuff that hasn't come to light yet. You already know 50 Cent's been on the front lines dragging Diddy and pulling the curtain back, but now the streets are buzzing that Busta's name is next on the hit list.
Call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us.
Looking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just holding it. So I look, you know, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
Word around town, Busta Rhymes has been getting real heated, super pressed over some explosive footage that's allegedly about to drop in 50 Cent's upcoming tell-all Diddy documentary. And if what we're hearing is true, it's about to blow up everything. And things are looking real messy for Busta right now. For years, he's been knee-deep in those invite-only, behind-closed-doors FO parties, mysterious guest lists, secret vibes, and a lifestyle kept far from the public eye. But what's really got him sweating? Sources say there's actual video evidence tying him right into the middle of all of it, side by side with Diddy. And that's just scratching the surface. Not too long ago, one of Busta's former security guys, known as Big Homie CC, spilled some wild tea that had everybody's jaws on the floor. He said Busta's been living with a whole hidden side for a while now, claimed the man had a very specific taste when it came to company, and it was no secret either. Club promoters were allegedly in the loop, so every time Busta pulled up, the VIP area was reportedly packed with folks that fit the vibe he liked. Real curated scenes. Now the word on the street, 50 Cent allegedly got the footage. And not just any footage, rumors say it shows Busta and Diddy turning all the way up at one of those private parties. We're talking full-blown, no-limit situations with company that insiders claim were invited for more than just bottle service. But it doesn't stop there. Several individuals are stepping forward now, claiming Busta made them feel super uncomfortable in private settings. They're saying whenever he popped up, he brought that let's party energy, but not the chill kind. More like the Diddy style intensity that's been making headlines.
You talking about Busta Rhymes before
Oh yeah.
in some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like, every cookout she playing it, all his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing.
And with 50 Cent reportedly behind a new Netflix documentary being hyped up as Surviving Diddy 2.0, Busta's not doing a thing to slow it down. If anything, his silence might have just locked in even more screen time.
I like to speak on the situations that I'm not well versed in, and that's not really my situation. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, you know, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things when it's as sensitive as this.
With Busta Rhymes back in the hot seat, you already know 50 Cent wasn't about to let this moment slide quietly. If there's one thing we've learned about 50, it's that once you've crossed him, it's game on, forever. This man holds grudges like trophies, and when 50 decides it's time for payback, even the most cold-hearted gotta take notes. So with all the buzz around Busta, 50 saw his moment and he went full throttle. These two, their history is packed with drama. From shady moments to open clashes, they've gone head-to-head more than once. So now that Busta's name is back in the headlines, 50 is basically throwing a celebration while putting him on full blast. Right before they were supposed to share a stage at the Humor and Harmony Fest, 50 hopped on Instagram and wasted no time getting his jokes off. He came for Busta's iconic yellow outfit from the 1999 VMAs, and the one that's been stuck in everyone's brain ever since. He basically told Busta, "Don't even think about pulling up dressed like this. I don't care if it's designer. Show up fresh, not fried." Of course, Busta wasn't gonna just sit there. He clapped back with an AI-edited pic of 50 looking, let's just say, questionable, and dropped a slick caption. "The blessings don't stop, so we ain't never gonna stop." Then threw in a jab like, "Ain't it Father's Day, 50? Why you out here looking like this?" By now, the trolling was loud, mutual, and hilarious, but fans weren't missing the tension underneath. You could feel it brewing. This wasn't just jokes anymore. This was war disguised as comedy. And it didn't stop there. Big homie CC kept adding fuel to the fire, doubling down on his claims about Busta living that double lifestyle. He made it clear this wasn't some random rumor. According to him, folks in the nightlife scene had known for a while, especially club promoters. If Busta was pulling up, the checklist was ready. VIP section, bottle service, security, and a very specific kind of guest list tailored just for him. That was the whole setup. And then big homie CC hit us with a wild story that had everyone locked in. He said there was this one night when Busta locked eyes on model Don Benjamin, who just happened to be in the spot with a friend who's openly out and proud. And according to big homie, the second Busta saw him, it was game on.
Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, I never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name's Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin. And the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad, like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group, so if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? So that's common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this, bro.
Busta allegedly moved fast, like man on a mission fast. He pulled Don straight into the VIP section like it was urgent. And once he got him in, that was it. No exits, no chill. Busta was fully locked in, hovering close, dropping compliments left and right, even calling the man cute all night. The whole vibe, straight up obsession energy.
So, I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? Man, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section. Pulled him into the section, and then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was shocked. But man, you asked, bro.
And just when you think it couldn't get any messier, Big Homie turned up the heat even more. He claimed Busta's real type hasn't exactly been a secret in industry circles for years. According to him, insiders have known exactly what Busta likes for a long time. But when asked why nobody ever aired it out, Big Homie kept it blunt. He said most folks aren't trying to ruin their connections. Everybody wants access to that elite VIP section. Too many people chasing clout and industry approval to risk burning a powerful bridge.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Oh, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How can we think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's gonna happen. Nobody wanna you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got it from their life, I move way there.
But then came the real jaw dropper. Big Homie hinted that some of Busta's past drama involving women might not just be random outbursts or headline-grabbing moments. He suggested it could be tied to something deeper, something nobody's dared to unpack publicly until now. Allegedly, like a lot of men who keep parts of their life under wraps, Busta might be holding on to some deep-rooted frustration. And when it builds up, it starts leaking out in real toxic ways. I told you, the layers just keep peeling back. And what's underneath? It ain't looking good.
You ask, bro. Anybody that's in the mix, bro, like you know, bro. Most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't want to be themselves.
That's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to get the girls. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. So, and what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of, on God. Scene.
And if you think this is just one bitter bodyguard trying to chase clout, nah, this isn't a solo act. The floodgates are opening and more folks are stepping forward with stories and receipts. Let's take it back to 2020 for a second. Social media personality Trip Alley dropped a wild story on YouTube that had people doing double takes. According to him, Busta tried to scoop him one night in NYC while he was just trying to hit a Halloween party.
I'm walking, New York City, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now I didn't know it was Busta at first. Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big ass flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? And then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, beside eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, looking around, looked at me, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta.
At first, Tripp thought nothing of it. Busta had invited him to the VIP section, and Tripp figured it was just a chill club link up. But nah, the vibe, way off.
Is, I'm about to go in this club. We got a section. You can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, tell my people. I was like, I come in, you know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet. So, of course, I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists of all time. And back then, I was really on my rap.
Before they even reached the spot, Tripp said things already started to feel strange. His homeboy, who was tagging along straight up, wasn't feeling the idea of partying with Busta. The disagreement got heated real quick. Words were flying, and next thing you know, they're full-on arguing in the middle of New York City. And that's just one more name stepping forward. The list is growing, and things got so chaotic, Tripp ended up shutting the whole night down and found himself stuck solo in the city. But honestly, that might have been a blessing in disguise. Who knows what was really waiting for him inside that VIP section? Fast forward to 2021, and the whispers, they started back up heavy. Word on the street was that Busta was still out here allegedly making moves on men, and this time the chatter hit a whole new level. That's when paparazzi reportedly caught him leaving a Pride event with a trans woman, and just like that, the plot thickened again. But if that wasn't messy enough, Orlando Brown came swinging back onto the timeline, dropping one of his signature shockers. This time, he didn't just mention Diddy. He brought Busta Rhymes into the mix too. Orlando claimed he'd had moments with several major industry names, and yeah, that included Busta.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker tried to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
And what's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And
why you not naming all?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sent his baddest friends on me.
Who's your dad?
Now look, we all know Orlando's history. He's said some off-the-wall stuff in the past, and a lot of folks usually don't take him seriously. But lately, he's been sounding a bit more locked in during his interviews. And if you really pay attention, some of what he's dropping lines up with other whispers that have been floating around for years. The puzzle pieces are starting to look real familiar.
Documentary comes out called Quiet on Set.
I never had to work for Nickelodeon. I work for Disney. We don't do those things.
Oh man, not the exhale.
Well, shout out to Nick Cannon. I won't do his money like that. What I will do is I'll say that the owner of Nickelodeon is Jeffrey Epstein. The guy that they've been trying to follow. And okay, now look at the characteristics of everything they said, and then look at everything that he did.
Joe.
I'm not gonna do that to Nick's money though. That's my brother. Like.
Now, whether Busta is living low-key or not, that's his personal business. But what can't be ignored is the long trail of questionable behavior that's been following him for decades. Just take it back to 2006. Prosecutors were ready to press charges after some heated sidewalk situation turned into a headline grabber. And that was just one moment in a timeline full of chaos. And according to Billboard, this man had a whole machete-riding shotgun in his car. A machete, like we're in some kind of action movie jungle scene. And that wasn't even the end of it. Just 1 year later, in 2007, Busta was back in the spotlight, this time for allegedly getting physical with his own driver over some kind of cash dispute. The situation escalated fast, and Busta ended up pleading guilty. The court hit him with 3 years of probation, but buckle up because it only gets messier. By 2009, the New York Post was airing him out again after a fan filed a lawsuit asking for $75,000. The claim? He got jumped at one of Busta's shows, just for trying to leave early. Allegedly, the fan stood up mid-performance because his favorite act didn't show. That's when Busta snapped, started yelling, throwing water bottles, and according to the lawsuit, even had his security run up and socked the man in the face like it was some kind of live wrestling match. Like, what kind of energy is that? Given how quick Busta's temper has popped off over the years, it's honestly no shock he's been tight with Diddy for so long. But the rumors don't stop at just wild outbursts and temper tantrums. Word on the street? These two might also share the same very specific taste when it comes to the kind of men they keep around, allegedly younger, and that's got folks real uncomfortable. And here's where it gets real suspicious. When the first wave of Diddy allegations hit the timeline, lawsuits, raids, and all kinds of legal heat, Busta's response had people doing a double take. Instead of staying quiet or distancing himself, he stepped up with a PSA telling fans not to judge too fast and to keep their opinions to themselves.
To ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. I don't really like to speak on the situations that I'm not well versed in, and that's not really my situation. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, you know, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things when it's as sensitive as this. People don't keep in mind the effect of what their opinion can have. And I think it's really, really important that we reserve our opinions until we understand what the undisputed truth is.
Have you had the chance to speak to Diddy?
I spoke to him a few times before, like, it got a little out of control. A lot of the times when people are going through things, you gotta respect the space and the privacy that they need to process how they're gonna deal with the things that they're going through. I just wanna see the right end result for everyone.
Wait, what? When this many people are coming forward with serious claims about shady behavior, misconduct, and more, and you're telling the public to stay silent, that's not staying neutral. That's defending Diddy. And now that things have completely blown up, with legal moves flying left and right, suddenly Busta's out here acting clueless. Now Busta out here acting like he barely even knows Diddy, like they ain't ever shared the same scene. Please, cut the act. Anyway, the real heat? 50 Cent is busy cooking up that tell-all Diddy documentary, and word is Busta's name is gonna be all over it. And honestly, we're ready for it.
Do it, right?
Yeah,
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now, and then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Busta was one of the first big names spotted at those infamous parties, and he never dipped out either. He stayed locked in. So if 50 is dropping names in this doc, you better believe he's bringing the receipts. Yeah. Busta might want to start bracing himself. One thing you need to understand about 50 Cent, he might be wild and loud on Instagram, but when it comes to planning behind the scenes, he don't move sloppy. This man plots in silence, watches everything, and waits for the perfect moment to strike. While folks were popping bottles and living it up in Diddy's penthouses, 50 was in the cut, quiet, watching, calculating. And now, boom, the bubble's about to burst. This doc he's working on, it's rumored to be a game changer for the music industry, and of course it's 50, so expect zero filters, no mercy, and a whole lot of brutal truth backed with proof. Insiders are saying Busta is tied deep into it, and while there's no official release date just yet, what is confirmed? G-Unit Films is producing it, and it's heading straight to Netflix. And guess who's directing it? Emmy-winning filmmaker Alex Stapleton. So yeah, this ain't some low-budget YouTube tea session. This is big-budget, professional storytelling with heavy receipts and real impact. Now, the pressure's on. Sources close to Busta are already saying he's sweating heavy because once this drops, the world's about to get a whole new look at what really happened to those bodyguards who vanished under mysterious circumstances. Allegedly, Busta's been out here making quiet calls, trying to get ahead of whatever bombshells are about to drop. Some even say he straight up warned 50 to leave his name out of the mix. But come on now, have you met 50 Cent? This man lives for pressure. If anything, Busta trying to shut him down might just guarantee us a season 2. So now the question is, why is Busta panicking? If there's nothing to hide, then why all this behind-the-scenes scrambling? Why the hush-hush energy? It's giving guilty vibes without saying the word. At this point, all eyes are locked on that Netflix drop. If 50 Cent really plans on airing everything, we might be looking at the biggest music industry shakeup in years, maybe ever. And don't get it twisted, this saga, it's nowhere near finished. Let us know what you think in the comments. Are you buying the rumors, or is Busta just caught in a bad wave? Either way, the tea is getting hotter and the receipts are stacking. If you're loving this deep dive into the drama, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wild stories just like this. You do not want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.